Hello my loves, Emily here. So I have often been asked about ancestral healing, and I feel one of the missing pieces is the end point, where you end up through ancestral healing. Where do the illuminated ancestors want to take you and your family? And the answer is back to the land. They want to bring love through the lines and bring you back to this sovereign relationship with your family, with your ancestors. And that means your soil, your stories, your heritage, your songs, your dances. So I'm just going to go through today 6 phases or 6 stages of what I've been shown as the ancestral healing path, and it's the one that I work with. And it starts off with the spark. It starts off with the knowing. Maybe it's the black sheep, maybe it's the somebody that's perhaps scapegoated, or an incident of crisis or patterning where there's a rupture. So it begins with rupture. It begins with a knowing that there's a rupture, because a rupture without knowing will continue. So when the rupture, when the wound has been witnessed and felt, that's your beginning. That's the beginning point. And this can happen. So the process of ancestral healing can happen with that person, because this comes down to belonging and not belonging. So the person who is witnessing the pattern, witnessing the wounding, will be thrust into action. They will be the one who will feel and know that healing is needed. Very often they will blame themselves for what's happened and not feeling that sense of belonging, and they will be looking for answers. And ancestral healing takes you beyond any kind of blame, shame. There's no drama triangle in the realm of the illuminated ancestors and the ancestors of the earth. It just does not exist. It is beyond that. And this is why it's so effective. So the second stage, then, from the first spark, the initiation of the recognizing of the wound, the recognizing of the pattern or the dissolution, is a dissolving of patterns. It might be a temporary pulling into questioning the whole family structure. And that is an essential part of ancestral healing. It's an essential part of asking, how did we come to get here? How did we come to this point? How did this happen? Where did this begin? And that kind of unravelling, untangling begins. And it does not have to be a tortuous process. It can be so nourishing. I believe there's an and and an and and an and and an and to everything. You know, when you can be in a cave and it can be full of crystals, but it can be dark and you can feel some deep stuff there. But the light that you're heading towards is richer than any light that you've witnessed before. And that's what propels you forward through this. And that's why it's so important. So the third process is a welcoming. It's actually a welcoming of the person who's being healed, the person initiating, or the whole family, if they're all doing it together, back to the source. And that's back to the source of the ancestral fire, the illuminated ancestors who have been with you the whole time. They're the ancestors who are connected with the angels, with the highest vibration of love, and they're the ones who are going to help you in this journey, and they know the whole story. They've seen the whole story. You don't have to justify anything to them, and they will take their witnessing, their holding, and their sense of belonging and welcoming you into a whole different way of considering yourself and your lineage and your role in this earth. They will completely change the way that you see yourself. And this welcoming will give you a foundation that you will only realise once it's in place that it's been missing for so long. And as you witness that within yourself, it will be, that kind of grief of something you've never known. And that's not just yours, it's collective. But we're feeling it on the collective. Okay? So that welcoming is, that's an empowerment. Love isn't any longer something to be fought over, or love is no longer something that's quantifiable. It's taking you back to the mothering source of the illuminated ancestors and the grandmothers of the family who hold the unconditional, the great mother that holds the boundless and endless, limitless. That's the realm that you're entering into with the illuminated ancestors. And the fourth process is the healing of the ghost ancestors, those that have not transitioned to the light, because the patterns that you recognised that have been witnessed are still affecting the deceased. And that's why we live with our dead. There are earthbound spirits in this realm. But in societies where the death is tended well, where the ancestors are tended well, these are not issues. These are not issues on the scale and because it's the unseen realm, we take the guidance from the illuminated ancestors. We take the guidance from our allies, and with the team of light supporting us, we support the patternings. These can be persecution patternings, they can be hierarchical, they can be silencings, whatever the woundings are unique to your ancestral line. They're your gifts, because once you unravel them, you can hold them as your gifts in the light. They're your gold. So the healing of the ghost ancestors begins at that time. And, my recommendation for this work is that it continues, because this is not something which can be, this is not 6 steps to success and then off you go. This is like, no, we're entering into the realm of being the ancestors. We're entering into a realm of sacred living. We're entering into the realm of rituals, practices, cycles and seasons of life being honoured correctly. A return to the tending, a return to the sacredness and living within that ceremony. So from the healing of the ghost ancestors, then we move on to the rerouting of the family tree. I was given a very strong image by my illuminated ancestors, and they showed me a twig, and they said, "You think this is a family?" There was like enough kind of branches of the twig coming off to kind of represent my immediate family, and they said, "This is not the family tree." And they showed me the trunk, they showed me the other branches, and we're all part of this web of life, and all our ancestral trees are connected together. So the work that we're doing on this tree to heal our connections between mother and daughter, between father and son, between all energies, between the great mother, the earth, is where we're going as a species, is where we're going as a humanity. This is an and thing. We're not only bringing ourselves a sense of belonging and return to lineage, return to sacredness, we're bringing that to the world at the same time. We're travelling in the direction of healing. And so rerouting that means that the family has a prayer, the family has a practice, the family has communication, opening up the communication between the realms, where the illuminated ancestors can be called on for guidance and they can send their love through. They can support us to celebrate births, deaths, the sacred moments in life, and really help us to understand what they mean, what they really mean, and what we really mean in the bigger picture. To help us to, we have this sort of 7 generational idea with ancestral healing that, you know, we're not just tending for our future. It doesn't matter whether we have children or not. We're setting the tone, we're setting the roots, we're planting the seeds for 7 generations to come. That's what we're doing with ancestral healing. And the 6th, the final stage of ancestral healing, and, you know, it was really, really given clearly to me, was land. You know, our relationship with the great mother, with the plants, with the trees, with our earth, with home. So this is about having a relationship not only with the spirits, with the illuminated ancestors of your family, to support you in all that they truly understand, because they have seen and witnessed all and felt it all. This is to be supported by the land spirits, by the elementals, by the devas of the plants, by the tree spirits. So, you know, the 6th stage of this is very much about returning full circle with a sense of belonging. And it's not about ownership with the earth, it's not about ownership with land, it's about knowing how we fit within the bigger cycle of the web of life. Just as it is within our families as well, within our family trees. And I'm just being reminded of sitting next to the rose on the patio, and just really noticing that, you know, when the plants that you have in your garden, the trees that you have in your garden, they're your family too, you know. And the wisdom that comes through from the trees, like from the beech tree for me, was about really kind of like breaking herself open to create space for the new. And the willow is always about kind of crying the tears, releasing, so that we'll be fresh and new. And the willow has got such a sweet, I don't know if anybody's drinks willow leaf tea, it's one of my favourites. It's so sweet, and it's what willow taught me through drinking the tea was, you know, by kind of recalibrating my taste buds, by recalibrating my sense of where I come from the earth, from my family tree, there was a cleansing process. So it was like, you don't need any sugar, you don't need to prove yourself, you don't need any there's no extras. It's just taste this beautiful sweetness, and the sweetness that I get from willow is a beautiful earthy sweetness. And I feel like it's such a symbol of the gifts of the ancestors, where, you know, you're totally receiving something which is deep, gorgeously sweet, and just so nourishing. And that's the process. And without coming back to the soil, without coming back to fully immersing in all of these processes, you know, we're landless, we're unrooted. And the ancestral healing is a process of rerouting ourselves back in with Mother Earth. rerouting ourselves back in with the cosmos. Who are we in space and time? Really understanding ourselves, because when we do that through the heart, we can live in a way which is, well, let's see. Let's just wait and see. I'm really looking forward to that. Lots of love. And if this resonates, please reach out or comment or ask. I'd love to know. And lots of love to you. Lots of love.